Hello, y'all. Welcome to my Pecha Kucha. My name is Sebastian Quesada, and today we're going to go ahead and talk about my home country of Costa Rica. To start off this presentation, you should know that Costa Rican people call themselves ticos or ticas. Now let's get this tico presentation going. Now, what is my relationship to Costa Rica, you ask? My mother and father are both Tico natives from opposite sides of the country. I was raised in the dead center of the country and brought up by their traditions. This was until my brother, mother, and I moved to Virginia, USA in 2007, and since then we have gone back and visited at least twice a year. As you can see, Costa Rica is located in Central America. We are bordered by Nicaragua to the north, Panama to the south, the Caribbean Sea to our east, and the Pacific Ocean to our west. From sea to sea, Costa Rica's width is only 200 miles. Its land occupation is only 20,000 square miles. Costa Rica is located in the Caribbean Plate. It borders the Cocos Plate in the Pacific Ocean, which is being subducted beneath it. This forms the volcanoes in Costa Rica, also known as the Central America Volcanic Arc. There are 14 known volcanoes in Costa Rica, and 6 of them have been active in the last 75 years. Costa Rica experiences a tropical climate year-round. There are two seasons. The summer or dry season is December to April, and winter or rainy season is May to November. Costa Rica is composed of 7 provinces, which in turn are divided into 82 cantons, each of which is directed by a mayor. Stone tools are associated with the arrival of various groups of hunter-gatherers about 10,000 to 7,000 years BCE. Agriculture became evident in the populations that lived in Costa Rica about 5,000 years ago. This sphere shown right here is one of the many crafts left behind and is the icon of Costa Rica's cultural identity. It was Christopher Columbus who sailed to the eastern shores of Costa Rica during his final voyage in 1502. Costa Rica was unappreciated and overlooked by the Spanish crown for many reasons and left to develop on its own. Costa Rica became a rural democracy with no oppressed mestizo or indigenous class. Like the rest of Central America, Costa Rica never fought for independence from Spain. On 15th of September 1821, after the final Spanish defeat in the Mexican War of Independence, the authorities in Guatemala declared the independence of all Central America. That date is still celebrated as Independence Day in Costa Rica. During Independence Day, regional schools perform the national anthem, dance routines, carry the flag, and twirl batons along a central street that is packed with onlookers. These community parades happen in nearly every city in the country and are a must-see event for locals and visitors. A lot of economic growth was seen in the 19th century. Coffee was first planted in Costa Rica in 1808, and by the 1820s it surpassed tobacco, sugar, and cacao as a primary export. Coffee production remained Costa Rica's primary source of wealth until the late 1900s, creating a wealthy class of growers. The revenue helped to modernize the country. The most modern official coat of arms was chosen in 1998. Since 1823 there have been 8 official coat of arms. The 3 volcanoes between the 2 oceans represent Costa Rica's mountain ranges in between the Pacific and Caribbean Sea. The merchant ships in the ocean represents the maritime history of the country. Furthermore, everything described before is surrounded by a golden frame with golden beads, which represent coffee and its value to the ticos. Above the 3 mountain ranges, the arc of 7 stars represent the 7 provinces of the Republic. The Costa Rican flag is featured on board of each ship. Since the late 19th century, Costa Rica has experienced 2 significant periods of violence. In 1919, General Federico Granados ruled as a military dictator until he was overthrown and forced into exile. In 1948, an armed uprising led to a 44-day Costa Rican civil war and was the bloodiest event in Costa Rican history. The victorious rebels formed a government junta which abolished the military altogether. The budget previously dedicated to the military is now dedicated to security, education, and culture. Costa Rica maintains police guard forces for domestic disturbances, but no standing army. Costa Rican cuisine is a blend of Native American, Spanish, and African cuisine origins. Spaniards brought many new ingredients to the country, especially spices and domestic animals, while the African flavor made its way through the borders. This picture is the most popular Costa Rican breakfast dish called gallo pinto. Football is the most important sport in Costa Rica. By football, we mean soccer in American terms. The national team has played in 5 FIFA World Cup tournaments and reached the quarterfinals for the first time in 2014. Personally, having been in my country at the time, it was one of my country's most exciting moments. After each game we played and didn't lose, parades would break out in nearly every major city in the country. During the tournament, Costa Rica beat Italy, Uruguay, and Greece, and tied England. If you ask any Tico about any of these games, they will 100% remember where they were. Now, the wildlife in Costa Rica is what attracts millions each year. Costa Rica is considered to possess the highest density of biodiversity in any country worldwide. Costa Rica is also home to more than 500,000 species, which represents nearly 5% of the total species estimated worldwide. Tourism in Costa Rica has been one of the fastest growing economic sectors in the country. Though the tourism boom began in 1987, by 2004 tourism was generating more revenue and foreign exchange than bananas and coffee combined. This is why Costa Rica is known as a pioneer of ecotourism. I really hope that this Pecha Kucha has taught you a little bit more about Costa Rica and what we are all about. I hope that one day, after the pandemic of course, that you get the opportunity to visit and see for yourself. And as we say in Costa Rica, pura vida.